It's just comedy.
The Jell-O Program, starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston and Phil Harris and his orchestra.
Thank you. This is Groucho Marx. Well, here I am, stepping in over my head again.
With Fibber McGee and Molly.
Folks, this is just as new to me as it is to you.
Hello? Hello, Mr. Benny, this is Rochester. The Great Gildersleeve.
Well, what an original greeting.
Hello and welcome to another week of comedy, funny, haha, on Dwayne Old Time Radio. One thing, please subscribe to my channel. If you enjoy what I'm doing, subscribing is 100% free. Also, one more thing, if you have a few seconds or 1 minute, please leave a review on your preferred podcast service, especially if you're on Apple, Spotify, or really just your preferred podcast service. Thank you and hope you enjoy. A lot of multiple episodes this month, so let's keep it going on comedy, funny, ha-ha. With Lum and Abner, several episodes from Lum and Abner. The first is their 34th episode, Abner in Bed with Two Broken Arms. That one aired January 31st, 1935. Then the 35th episode, called Finance Reopening of Jotham Down Store. That one aired February 1st, 1935. And then their 36th episode with Horlick Agrees to Distribute Flashlight. And that one aired February 4th, 1935.
Howdy, everybody. Here we are, all ready to take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner, brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. With many parts of the country suffering from changeable weather, it is especially important to be on guard against colds and illness at this time. Consult your doctor at the first sign of a cold or sore throat. Don't run the risk of complications, which may develop from lack of proper medical attention. One visit to your doctor may save you weeks of unnecessary suffering. People who are convalescing from colds or more serious illnesses will find Horlick's malted milk just the sort of nourishing, easily digested food drink that will aid recovery. It will not upset or cause distress to a delicate or impaired system. Horlicks is refreshing, invigorating. Its delicious, rich flavor is one that the convalescent will not grow tired of, no matter how regularly Horlicks is included in the diet. Horlicks malted milk is self-contained. Mixed with water alone, it's a nourishing, sustaining food drink. It isn't necessary to add any flavoring or even milk unless desired. You can get Horlicks, you know, either natural or chocolate flavor at your druggist. And now, let's get ready for Lum and Abner. Well, Abner has certainly been having domestic troubles at home. In fact, since his wife Elizabeth returned from her visit in Texas, she has refused to let him come in the house. Well, yesterday, Lum devised a scheme to arouse her sympathy. After bandaging Abner in splints, he called Elizabeth and told her that Abner had been run over by an automobile and had broken both arms. The plan worked. Abner was received at home with open arms and has satisfactorily explained their misunderstanding. As we look in on our old friends today, we find Abner propped up in bed, both arms in splints and bandages, explaining to Dick Huddleston how the accident happened. Listen.
Well, I didn't hear a thing about it till this morning. What time did it happen, Abner?
Yesterday.
I know, but what time yesterday?
Let's see, long late in the afternoon.
afternoon, I believe it was. Mm-hmm. Whose car was it? Who hit you? Why, I don't know who it was. Well, didn't you see the car? Yeah, I reckon I did, but I don't recollect it. You don't know what kind of a car it was, huh? No. Why, you know every car in Pine Ridge, Abner. It must have been an out-of-town car. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it must have been an out-of-town car. Well, how did it happen, Abner? How come him to hit you? How come who to hit me? Why, the fella that ran over you. Oh. Why, me and Lum was in the store there, and... In the store? Well, how could a car hit you and you in the store? No, wait a minute, that's wrong. Yeah. I must have been out in front. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, more than likely it started across the street, hadn't you? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, cross the street, yeah. Well, didn't the driver blow his horn to let you know he's coming? Let me see now. He surely did. Yeah, he must have. Then what happened, Dick? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Oh, sure, yeah, that's right, sure. You know less about this accident been in it than anybody I ever saw, haven't you? Yeah, I do, don't I? Don't recollect much about it. Maybe that lick you got there on the head sort of affected your memory some way. Yeah, that's it, yeah. Yeah, that lick I got there on my head, that's what done it, sure. Well, didn't the fella stop? Who? Why, that fella that hit you. Oh, the fellow with the car, yeah. Let me see. Dick, I wish you wouldn't ask me so many questions. Doc Miller said it ain't good for me to talk too much. Oh, sure, yeah. Excuse me, Abner. Sure, I never thought about that. I was just interested, in hearing all about it. Well, that's all right. I never thought of it neither till just now. I just wanted to get all the particulars, Well, you ask Lum about it. He knows all about it. Fact is, he's the one that thought of, he's the one that seen it. Well, then Lum will look after things all right. Well, Abner, I sure hate to see you laid up this way, but accidents will happen, looks like. Yes, they will. Looks like. By the way, Abner, are you protected by insurance? Am I what? Are you protected by insurance? Well, now, he can just fix his car up the best way he can. Well, I mean, have you got any accident insurance on yourself? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got an accident policy, all right. Well, now, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Times like this is one that fellow appreciates having them, ain't it? Yeah, I reckon so. You may be laid up here quite a little while, Edna. You can't tell how bad those things are. I'll find him in here. Well, that sounds like Grandpappy Spears out there in the hall. Well, come in, Grandpap. I thought I heard you. Howdy, Abner. Howdy. See, you got company. Howdy, Richard. How you, Grandpap? Oh, just appeared at a catbird. Well, Abner, they tell me they like to got you yesterday. Yeah, I had a close call, I reckon, Grandpap. Awful close here. Go yourself up the locker there and sit. Yeah. Get out of there. Sit. Get them hairs all over the place. Well, Abner, I expect I better be getting on back down the store. Sit still, Richard. I'll be going directly myself. Can't stay but just a minute. Just thought I'd drop over and sort of cheer Abner up a little. Why, sure. Sit down, Dick. You ain't got nothing to do, no way. Well, Abner, you look like you've been in a wreck, all right. Yeah. You don't look natural, all bandaged up that way. No, I reckon not. Tell me it broke both your arms. Yeah, broke them both, Grandpa. Well, I do know. Was your arms broke above or below your elbow? Well, which does it look like to you? Well, of course, just offhand, it looks like it broke below the elbow, I'd say, the way them splints is put on there. Yeah. Well, you're just right. You sure are. You ought to have been a doctor, Grandpa. Yeah, that's awful bad, Abner. Man, get up your age, he's generally awful slow about mending. Fact is, I doubt where you ever get over it. Oh, why, he'll be up and around in no time at all, Horlick, Grandpa. I don't know now, Richard. Old man that way, bones don't knit like they ought to. What do you mean, old man? I know when old Uncle Mac Rollins, whenever he fell out of his barn loft over there, he laid at home there for months, flat of his back till he passed on. Well, now, Grandpa, you oughtn't to be scaring Abner that way. It's bad enough as it is. Well, I don't aim to scare you, Abner, now. I hope you do get over it, but I'm just saying I've got my doubts. Wouldn't surprise me none if you never used them arms again. Yeah, well, you ain't scaring me none, Grandpa. I'll be up around again before you know it. That's the time, Abner. That's the way to talk. Well, Abner, tell me about it. How did it all happen? Who hit you and all that? Grandpa, Doc Miller told Abner not to be talking too much. Oh, well, now, it's all right for me to talk, but, it just makes me feel worse to answer questions about the accident. Why, sure it does, Abner. Best thing to do is just keep it off your mind. Forget about it.
Yeah, it must be terrible to think about it.
Yeah, must be. Awful bad. Awful bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't take it too hard, Abner. Body can't live forever, you know.
Somebody at the door there, I think, Abner.
Yeah. Come in.
Well, Abner, she's a-working it. Well, howdy, fellas.
Howdy, Lum.
Yeah, howdy, Lum.
Come in, Lum. Come in. Sit down.
Yeah, thank you. You're looking better today, Abner. Glad to see you, man.
Here, Lum. Don't be shaking hands with him now. You'll hurt his arm.
Oh, excuse me, Abner. I forgot.
Yeah. Well, I did, too. Here, Lum, take my share. I've got to be going anyhow. Well, Richard, if you're ready, I believe I better get on back to the place.
Yeah, I've got to go too, Grandpap, but Lum's here. He can keep Abner company now.
Well, don't let me rush you fellers off now.
Well, we fixing to go anyway, Lum.
Abner, if there's anything you're needing now, just call on us. Any setting up or anything like that.
Yeah, us too, Abner. Well, thank you, man. I'm glad you come over. Come back again.
Yeah, we will. You come. Oh, that's right. You can't take it.
I hope you get to feel better, Abner.
You want me to let old Lead in?
No, keep that dog out of here. He lays out there in the hall right in the way and tries to get in every time you open the door. I'm going to run him off the place. He don't quit laying out there.
Well, Abner, it's a-working, ain't it?
Yeah, so far it is, Lum.
So far?
I'm still sort of dubious about it, though. You know, the last time we tried this, when we made out like my leg was broke, why, it never worked out so well.
Oh, well, we learned a lot that time, though.
Yeah, we ought to learn enough not to try it again, I'm figuring.
Well, now, you just leave everything to me, Abner. I'll handle this all right.
I hope so.
Yeah, Elizabeth's already in a good humor with you, I can tell that. I heard her singing back there in the kitchen when I come in just now, just singing.
Yeah, well, so far she appears to be just happy to June bug. Been waiting on me hand and foot. Just can't do enough for me, looks like.
Well, I told her yesterday, whenever we carried you over here, she better humor you all she could.
She did?
Yeah, you can thank me for all this attention you're
Well,
giving.
now, that was a good idea, for she's sure been looking after me. Just been standing right here by my side doing everything. Asked me if I'm comfort and all that. Won't know if I want any more pillars popped behind my head or anything.
Well, that is fine.
Yeah.
I knowed in reason if I just set my head to do it, I could figure out a way to get Elizabeth back in a good humor with you all right.
Yeah. Well, the only thing that's bothering me now, Lum, with these arms broke, why, I'm going to be laid up there for a long time. It takes them bones a long time to knit, you know.
Well, them arms ain't broke. What's that?
Huh? Oh, wait. No, but I got to make out like that. I mean, and I've got to get out here and make some money somewhere or other. We ain't got nothing to eat in the house and nothing to buy it with. Of course, Dick Huddleston is offered to let us have groceries on a credit, but now I just ain't going on imposing on him that way when I ain't got no ideas when I can pay it back.
No.
I was in the store business myself too long. I know just how Dick feels about it. And there ain't going to be no money coming in off our matrimonial business for a while yet.
Well, then looks like it's a good thing that feller called me up then.
What feller?
That's just what I come over to tell you about.
Huh?
Abner, me and you has went into another business.
Another business?
Yeah, our finance worries is over.
Well, what kind of business?
I ain't telling you a thing about it till I get the whole deal signed up. But you're a half partner in it.
Well, now, here now, Lum. Now, don't you go making me no partner in something till I find out what it is. You got me in enough trouble when I knowed what I was doing. I ain't going into nothing that I don't know about.
Don't be telling me what you're going to do and what you ain't. Recollect you got both arms broke there. This ain't no time for you to be arguing back about nothing. I granny, as I said, we was going into a new business, and we're going into it.
Well, Abner seems to be a partner in this new business of Lum's, whether he likes it or not. Ladies and gentlemen, nothing is more important in keeping good health and maintaining a high resistance to sickness than is plenty of good, sound sleep. That's something we all need to get our share of. Now, a lot of people are troubled with what we call sleeplessness. They can't get to sleep easily at night. As a result, they don't get a full night's rest, only a part of it. Now, those people need more sleep than they are getting. There's something that will help them to get it, too. A cup of Horlicks, hot, just before they go to bed. A cup of Horlicks just before you retire relaxes you, soothes you, helps you to sleep soundly and unbrokenly. Horlicks is an easily digested food. Experiments have proved that it will help you to sleep more restfully than if you had gone to bed with an empty stomach. Drink a cup of Horlicks hot just before you go to bed tonight. You'll find that sleep will come much easier, much quicker. You can get Horlicks malted milk, you know, either natural or chocolate flavor at your druggist. This is Carlton Brickert speaking for Lum and Abner and Horlick, who bid you all good night and good health.
Howdy, everybody. Here we are, all ready to take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner, brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. Always demand Horlicks, the original malted milk by name. Don't accept a substitute for it. Horlicks, you know, is made from only rich, full cream milk and the best of wheat and malted barley. That's why, for flavor and richness and for results, too, Horlicks is so superior to imitations. Mere mechanical mixtures of skim milk and inferior malt powder, uncooked cocoa, and a high percentage of ordinary sugar. You can't expect to find Horlicks' nourishing, energy-giving qualities in those mixtures. No, Horlicks malted milk stands unequaled. Rich in precious vitamins and mineral elements, Horlicks is a great food drink for growing children. It helps children to develop sound and healthy bodies, good bones and teeth. And Horlicks is so delicious, so tasty, children never have to be urged to drink it regularly. Horlicks malted milk comes in both natural and chocolate flavor. Get a package of Horlicks from your druggist tonight. And now, let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. Yesterday, Lum announced that he and Abner were going into a new business in order to raise some immediate cash while their matrimonial bureau is getting on a paying basis. Abner is confined to his bed as the result of the fake automobile accident that Lum devised to arouse Elizabeth's sympathy so that she would listen to Abner's explanation of their recent misunderstanding. Abner is living in mortal dread that his wife might learn that the automobile accident was a fake, and that he and Lum have allowed Squire Skimp to swindle them out of their Jot-'em-Down store while she was visiting in Texas. As we look in on our old friends today, we find Dick Huddleston over at Abner's house discussing the accident. Listen.
No, all I know is that automobile hit me. I don't know who it was or what kind of car or nothing.
Well, I told Elizabeth I'd try to help her find out who it was, Abner. She was asking this morning if I wouldn't help her.
Yeah, I know she's awful interested. She's been asking me questions about it all day.
Well, she's pretty mad about it. I feel sorry for whoever done it if she finds out who it is. I reckon she told you what she done to Ezra Seastrong.
Ezra? No.
Well, she was out this morning trying to find out who done it, and she seen Ezra Seastrong sitting in his car, and his car had a bent fender and a broke headlight where he'd hit a cow last week. But she never asked him no questions, just reached in there and snatched him out and give him a good flogging, throwed him back in and walked off. But I know that Ezra never done it.
No, I know it weren't Ezra. And I reckon the licking she'd give him would do him good anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to find out who it was that hit you, Abner, and see what he's dealt with for it.
Well, sir, I don't believe we'll ever find out who it was. I just got a feeling that we won't.
Well, now, I'll find out who it was if he's in Pine Ridge.
Well, I wouldn't look too hard for him, Dick. I wouldn't want to cause nobody no trouble over it.
mean that you think it's all right for somebody to drive around town here at breakneck speed and run over you and break both of your arms and not even stop to see how bad you were hurt?
Well, I don't think he aimed to do it. Now, I don't think he aimed to break both arms anyway. I think it was just an accident.
Why, sure, I don't think you run over you on purpose, Abner, but you ought to be taught a lesson. There's too much reckless driving around here.
Yes, there is. We've got speed laws here in Pine Ridge, and they ought to be enforced. Us citizens ought to get together and see that they are, too.
Well, you're the constable. It's up to you to sit there and enforce, Abner.
Yeah, that's right. I am, ain't it? Well, I don't think that feller hit me, though. I don't believe he was driving reckless.
Well, he must have been if he's driving down the main street that fast and didn't even blow his horn.
Didn't he blow his horn?
Well, you said he didn't yesterday.
I did. Well, he must not have then. I know I wouldn't tell no story about it.
You don't know what color the car was, Abner, or anything about it like that, do you?
No, I sure don't, Dick. I don't recollect the thing. Wait a minute. Come in.
Well, howdy, Lum.
Gentlemen.
Well, Lum, Abner. Come right in. Draw yourself up a rocker there.
Yeah. How you feeling today, Abner?
Oh, all right. I'm tired of laying in bed this way.
How's Elizabeth feeling?
Elizabeth?
I mean, is she still in a good humor with you?
Oh, yeah, she's in a good humor now.
Well, I think it's all right for you to get up and stir around a little, eh?
Well, I don't know now, Lum. If I was him, I wouldn't get up for a few days yet. He had a terrible shock there, you know.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot. You better stay in bed till you tell Elizabeth about us losing the Jot 'em Down store, Abner. You'll have a shock worse than an automobile hitting you if you don't.
Haven't you told her yet, Abner, that you and Lum aren't in the store business anymore?
No, I just can't bring myself to do it, Dick. I know how mad she's going to be.
Well, now, you better tell her. She's going to find out about it sooner or later, and I better get it off your mind right away is what you better do.
That's what I've been telling him, Dick.
Well, I started to this morning. I started to question her about it and asked her what she'd think if we was to sell the store.
What'd she say?
Oh, my goodness, she just blowed up. Said that was one thing that she wouldn't stand for at all. Just might now went into hysterics over it. But I calmed her down by telling her not to get excited about it, that we weren't going to.
Well, now, you're just making bad matters worse talking that way.
Yeah, you sure are, Abner.
Yeah, I know it, but I couldn't help it. She made me promise that I'd never sell my interest in the store.
And you promised her that knowing that you'd already sold it?
Yeah. I'm just afraid I got myself out farther on a limb than I already was.
Well, Abner, won't you never learn to keep that big mouth of yours closed? Every time you open your mouth, you put your foot in it.
Yeah, I know. Huh?
Nothing.
Well, it looks like you got yourself in a jam, Abner.
Oh, well, Lum was just joshing about me putting my foot in my mouth. he just saying that. He know that I can't do it.
I mean about this store business. Looks like to me that you fellas are going to have to get a stock of merchandise and get that store open before Elizabeth finds out anything about it.
Grannies, I believe that's a good idea, Dick.
Yeah, I know it is.
I wished we could.
Yeah.
I ain't been happy since we sold out over there.
Me neither. I'd just give might nigh anything if we could start up again. Especially with Elizabeth feeling the way she does.
All we got to do now is figure out a way to get the new stock of merchandise.
Well, what was this new business that you was telling me we was going into yesterday, Lum? I've been waiting all morning for you to come over.
Why, I'll tell you about it some other time.
Well, here, now, you fellas want to talk business. I'll get on out of your way here.
Oh, no, sit still, Dick. I never meant it that way at all.
Sit down, Dick.
Oh, I know you didn't, Lum, but I've got to go anyway. I ought to have been back long ago. Well, I hope you get along all right, Abner.
Yeah, thank you, Dick, and I'm glad you come over. Well, I'll see you later, then. So long.
So long, Dick. I hope Dick never taken no defense at what I said. I just might not busting to tell you about this new idea.
Oh, yeah, well, he never thought nothing about it. What is it, Lum?
Looky there.
Huh?
And there's what we're going to stock the store with.
Stock the store? You mean we're going to put in a whole store full of these fountain pens?
That ain't no fountain pen, Abner. That's a flashlight.
Huh?
Let me show you. See, just press that little button on the end there. And looky there.
Yeah. Well, I do know. Well, I ain't that the beatin'est thing that you ever seen. What will they think of next? Well, I would have swore you could have read a letter with it.
I did, too, when I first seen it. The feller brought it out last night to show it to me, and I tried for 5 minutes to write with it.
Yeah?
About the time I decided it wouldn't work, he told me it was a flashlight.
I dog it well. It's pure silver, ain't it?
No, it ain't silver, Abner. That's polished aluminum. I never could speak that word.
Yeah? Where's the business that we're going into, Lum?
That's it, right there.
You mean selling these flashlights?
Yes, sir. We've got exclusive rights on it for Pine Ridge. I believe we can make enough money out of these to buy a new stock of goods for our store.
Well, it's about as nice a gadget as I ever seen, Lum, but I don't know where we could sell that many or not.
Why, sure we can. There's something for every member of the family. Sell the whole family one of them. See there, got a clip on it there and carry it right in your pocket like you would a fountain pen.
Yeah, well, I do know.
It's little, but it's powerful a flashlight as you ever seen. That feller says it'll throw a beam 200 foot. Look yonder, look across there on the fur wall.
Yeah? I know that the children will sure take to that, won't they?
Oh, yeah, they can find 1,000 uses for it.
Yeah.
Road folks, too, far as that goes. Handy to have around the house.
Why, sure.
Look in the attic, and down in the cellar, and dark closets, and all such as that.
Natural.
Handy for mothers to look in the children's throats with. Body driving an automobile oughtn't to be without one of them, fixing flat tires and reading the road signs and one thing or another.
I doggy that is a handy little contraption, ain't it? It sure is. Yeah, I'd love to have one of them myself. And Elizabeth, now, she needs one the worst way to use out there at the barn when she's doing up her chores, or milking, feeding the stock, and stuff like that.
That's what I say. Everybody needs one.
Yeah.
These things will sell like hotcakes.
Well, the only thing, old Lum, just from looking at it, I'm feared they'll cost too much for most folks. What do they cost?
Well, the price of them is 75 cents, but now, wait a minute. I ain't told you all my ideas.
Yeah.
I've got a way figured out to where we can let every man, woman, and child in the United States have one of these.
Yeah, well, now, wait a minute now, Lum. You're covering a lot of territory there now.
Here's my idea, Abner. I was thinking about getting some great big company interested in these, and natural, I thought about the Horlick Malted Milk Corporation.
Natural.
You know, they was nice enough to send out the Pine Ridge News first when all of our friends wrote in for it a while back.
Uh-huh.
So I just sat down a while ago and wrote Mr. William Horlick a letter, personal.
Oh, well, I believe I'm catching on now.
Listen to this. Mr. William Horlick, Racine, Wisconsin. Dear Mr. Horlick, we are sending under separate cover a fountain pen flashlight which we think you might be interested in using in an advertising campaign of some kind.
Uh-huh.
This is something that every man, woman, and child would appreciate having, and if you are interested, we can supply you with any number you want, as we are exclusive distributors for Pine Ridge.
Yeah.
Please let us hear from you by return mail. Your old friends, Lum and Abner.
Well, I don't get Lum, you sort of outdone yourself on that letter. Now, that does sound fine.
Well, it ought to. I spent enough time on it.
Yeah.
Abner, if Mr. Horlicks is interested in this proposition, we'll get that stock of groceries back in that store before Elizabeth ever finds out a thing about us going out of business.
I believe you're on the right track, Lum. Just go ahead and make me a half partner.
Howdy, everybody. Here we are, all ready to take you down to Pine Ridge for another visit with Lum and Abner, brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. We're going to have a big surprise for you tonight, so we're going to hurry right on down to Pine Ridge and Lum and Abner. First, though, I'd like to say something to all you boys and girls who are listening. You know, I have a little girl of my own, just about the same age as most of you youngsters. Well, you know what she likes more than anything in the world? A glass of Horlick's chocolate malted milk. She just loves Horlicks, thinks it's the best tasting drink she's ever had. Well, I'll bet that she drinks 4 or 5 glasses of Horlicks every day. Her mother and I like to have her drink it, too, for we know Horlicks will help her to grow up big and strong. Well, what I wanted to tell you was this. I know that every one of you boys and girls, if you try Horlicks, will like it just as much as my little girl. Why don't you ask Mother or Dad to buy you some? I know they'll be glad to get you a package of Horlicks the next time they go to the drugstore. You boys and girls, and you grown-ups, too, be sure and listen to the closing announcement tonight. I'm going to have a big surprise for you. Can't tell you about it just now, though, so be sure and listen later. Well, let's see what's happening down in Pine Ridge. Lum and Abner have secured the agency for a pocket flashlight and have written Mr. Horlick to try and interest him in using a large quantity of them in an advertising campaign. The old fellows are trying to raise enough cash to reopen their Jot-'em-Down store. Well, as we look in on Pine Ridge today, we find Lum down at their old store building which is now being used as headquarters for their matrimonial bureau. Abner, who has been confined to his bed since pretending to have had both arms broken in an automobile accident, is just entering the store for the first time since Lum conceived the idea of the fake accident. Listen.
Well, for goodness sakes, Abner, what in the world are you doing out?
I told it I got tired of laying up there in that bed. I decided to get out and stir around a little.
Yeah, and Elizabeth will just about find out you ain't sure enough hurt, and then we will be into it.
Well, now, Lum, ain't no use for me to just lay up in bed just 'cause my arms is broke.
Yeah, but you get up and around this way, and you're liable to forget that your arms ain't really hurt and give yourself away.
Oh, no, I'm watching that mighty close, Lum. I got my hands all wrapped up, too, so that I won't forget and pick up nothing.
You look like you've been in a wreck, all right.
Well, I feel like it, too. I've talked about these arms being broke and how bad they hurt till they sure enough got to aching.
Maybe Cedric got them bandages wrapped a little too tight on there. Stopped to circulate.
Well, I don't know, but they pained me so bad last night I couldn't hardly sleep. This might as well have been broke. It couldn't have hurt me no worse.
Yeah.
And let me sit down, Lum. I've laid up there in that bed till I'm just as weak as a kitten.
Yeah, sure. Draw yourself up a chair and sit.
Well, I reckon I'll have to get you to move a chair for me, Lum.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is a nuisance having both arms broke.
Yeah, it is.
Fella has to be weighted on hand and foot.
Yeah, it's a shame it had to... Your arms ain't broke. What's the matter with you?
Well, no, but I got to make out like they are.
Well, you don't have to make out like it around me. You ain't fooling me none.
Well, Lum, with my arms wrapped up this way, I can't do nothing for myself. I can't pick up nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
I was just sort of wondering, Lum, if you'd mind to fill up my pipe with tobacco there.
All right. Where is it at?
In my coat pocket, left-hand side there. Yeah, right in there. That's it.
For goodness sake, what all you got in here?
I don't know. Elizabeth put all my stuff in there a while ago. My knife and keys and one thing and another.
Worse than some schoolboy about carrying stuff in your pocket.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, much obliged. Right now, if you put my pipe in my mouth and light it for me, Lum.
Looks to me like you'd quit smoking while you're crippled up this way, Abner. Here.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. Lum, reckon you could sort of lift my hat off and set it over on the counter?
Lift your hat off?
Yeah, Elizabeth put it on for me a while ago, and it's about to worry me to death. That's just one thing I can't stand is for somebody else to put my hat on for me. They never get it on right, looks like. Don't feel comfortable.
All right. Now, if you're settled, I'll get back to work here.
Yeah, what are you doing there, Lum?
I've been sorting out some of this mail to the matrimonial bureau.
Oh, still writing in, are they?
Oh, yeah. Matrimonial bureau's fine if we're just making any money out of it.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting letter, Abner. Read that.
Yeah. Would you mind to reach in my inside coat pocket here, Lum, and get my spectacles and set them on my nose for me?
Whoever thought of this idea of having both your arms broke anyway?
Why, you thought of that, don't you know, Lum? I know that it sure worked all right, too.
It's working too good. Here. Hold still.
Now, I don't believe we could have figured out a better way to get Elizabeth back in a good humor with me. Now, where's that letter?
Oh, yeah. Listen here. From Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio? Well, you have to hold it up in front of my eyes, Lum, so that I can read it.
Never mind. Just let it go. Just let the letter go. Weren't nothing important no way.
Why? Well, if I ain't going to read it, why, you may as well take these spectacles off, ain't you?
Just leave them on there.
Well, all right. I just hate to wear them out when I ain't looking at nothing.
Well, Abner, I can't spend all my time waiting on you. If you think I'm going to play nursemaid for you, you just got another guess coming. I've got work to do here.
Yeah, well, before you start in on that, Lum, would you mind to light my pipe up again for me?
And I wished you'd had both your legs broke instead of your arms. Here, now. Keep puffing on it.
Yeah.
You let it go out again, it'll just have to stay out.
Yeah, much obliged. That's better.
Hope your arms is well by the time we get our store opened up again.
Yeah, I just hope we get the store opened up by the time our arms gets well. That's what I hope. If Elizabeth finds out that we let Squire Skimp beat us out of their store, Lum, we'll both be crippled up.
Well, if this flashlight proposition works out, we'll have a new stock of goods here in a couple of weeks. I believe them things is going like hotcakes.
Yeah, I believe they are too, Lum.
If we can sell enough of them to get our store opened up again, and by that time our matrimonial business is on a paying base, we'll be back on your feet again.
Yeah. Well, if we can just get the store open, that's the main thing. We know we can't starve to death as long as we got a stock of groceries in here.
No.
And if the worst comes to the worst, why, we can just eat the store, you know.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know when we was well off, did we?
Why, no. Had the store and making a little money out of it. If we'd just stayed with it, why, we'd have been all right.
Yeah, trying to get rich quick.
That's it.
Squire Skimp come along with his big-sounding talk and made us unsatisfied with what we had.
Just what he done.
Looked like everything we tested went right backwards to what it ought to.
Oh, Lord, we've had a run of hard luck that just might not ruin us long.
Yeah, more than likely it'll be good for us in the long run. Get some of these big ideas out of our heads.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, if we can get our store back now, we'll appreciate it more.
Why, sure. Well, here comes Dick Huddleston.
Yeah.
He's sure been a friend to us, ain't he?
Oh, yeah. I don't know what we would have did if it hadn't been for him.
Been letting me have groceries down there at his store on a credit just to keep Elizabeth from finding out that we lost our store.
Yeah, but it can always lean again, Dick, in time of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Must be some more mail for our matrimonial bureau he's bringing over.
Yeah, Mona. Well, howdy, Dick.
Yeah, come in, Dick.
Well, how you fellas today?
No, just fine. Come on back.
Well, Abner, I didn't know you was able to be up and around.
Well, he oughtn't to be.
Yeah, I just got tired of laying over in bed.
Come down here and expects me to wait on him hand and foot.
Well, how are your arms feeling, Abner?
Oh, they're all right, I reckon, Dick. I'd say, Dick, would you mind to light my pipe for me here? I don't want to ask Lum to do it again. He got sort of aggravated at me.
Oh, why, sure.
Just let it stay out.
Lum, here's some mail for you here. There's one special deliver letter in the bunch there, too.
Well, I do know.
Here you are, Abner.
Special deliver. Reckon somebody must be in a turbo. Well, it's a letter from Mr. Horlick, Abner.
Huh?
Granny's, he answered right back, didn't he?
Yeah, open it up and see if he take me up on that proposition, Lum.
Yeah.
You fellas on deal with Mr. Horlick?
Yeah, me and Abner got the agency for these flashlights, and we wrote Mr. Horlick to see if he couldn't use a bunch of them in an advertising campaign of some kind. Here's one of them.
Yeah. Looks like a fountain pen, don't it?
Say, that's all right, isn't it? Well, that's about as handy a gadget as I ever saw.
Well, sir, them things will throw a beam 200 foot.
Yeah, now that is a dandy. Say, that's nice for a fella to have along with him all the time, you know. Like a fountain pen, you can just put it in your pocket there. It's always there when you need it. If you're out in the car at night or something like that.
Why, sure, yeah, it's the handiest thing in the world. Young'uns, they get a lot of fun out of it, too.
It looks like silver.
No, it's polished aluminum, as Lum said it was.
Well, you know, I'd like to have one of these myself, Abner.
What's that, Dick?
I'd say I'd like to have one of these flashlights here,
All
Lum.
right, Granny's, you can get one of them. Listen to this. Here's that letter. Mr. Lum and Abner Peabody.
Yeah.
Dear sirs.
That's us.
I received your letter, also the aluminum pocket-sized flashlight which you sent me. It is a very attractive and useful article, and I am so enthused over it that I am going to send one as a gift to all users of Horlick's malted milk.
Well, I do know.
To anyone who sends you the wrapper of a bottle of Horlick's malted milk powder, I authorize you to send them one of these handy flashlights with my compliments.
Well, that's nice.
In this way, it will be to your advantage to distribute as many as possible. Please accept my sincere thanks for your interest in Horlick's. I am confident that your enterprise will be successful and that the Jot-'em-Down store will soon be reopened to the public. Sincerely, William Horlick.
Well, good for him.
Well, say now, that's mighty
Well,
nice.
I knowed they'd do it. I just knowed it. You know, they was nice enough to mail out our Pine Ridge News for us, and I just knowed they'd do this.
Well, sir, that's as nice a gift as I ever saw.
Granny's, I'm going to make an announcement on the party line right this minute. Tell all our friends how they can go about getting one of these flashlights.
Yeah, just tell all the folks that wrote in for the Pine Ridge News, Lum, that we got something else for them now.
I'll tell everybody. Everybody, men, women, and children.
That's a nice gift.
I'll tell them that if they ain't got some Horlicks in the house, to go out and buy some so we can get some of these roppers in here.
That's the time.
The more of them roppers they send in, the more of these flashlights we can send out. And the more flashlights we send out, the quicker we can get our Jot-'em-Down store opened up again.
Why, sure.
Just a minute, folks is listening.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Howdy, everybody. This is Lum Edwards talking. I've got an important announcement to make.
Yes.
You folks out on the party line has been awful good about writing to me and Abner. And we never have called on you yet that you ain't exponded.
Not a time.
We've tried not to impose none on your friendship, and that's why we don't hesitate a minute to ask all of our friends to write in for one of these flashlights the Horlick's Malted Milk Company is going to give away. All you've got to do is to send your name and address on the back of a wrapper from a bottle of Horlick's Malted Milk Powder and mail it to me and Abner, and we'll see that you get one of these handy little flashlights.
Well, it's true, folks. Mr. Horlick is going to give one of these aluminum pocket flashlights, complete with bulb and batteries, to every user of Horlick's Malted Milk Powder. Now, here's how you can get one. To let us know you are a user of Horlick's Malted Milk, send us the wrapper from a package, any size, of Horlick's Malted Milk Powder. Remember, it must be Horlick's Malted Milk Powder. Wrappers from packages of Horlick's tablets are not eligible. Well, on the back of this Horlick's Malted Milk wrapper, write your name and your address, and then send it with 10 cents enclosed. That's just to cover the cost of packing and mailing your flashlight, which is a regular 75-cent value, to Lum and Abner, care of the station to which you are listening.
Thank you for listening to and showing your support for my podcast. If you would like to receive notifications of when new episodes are posted, please subscribe to my channel. Subscriptions are 100% free, and they really help me get an idea of how I'm doing. Well, hope you enjoyed, and until next time, stay safe, wish you well, and as always, peace.